Good morning, I'm Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. The election for the National Assembly Vice Chair to be held today. Bimala Ghimire of UML up against Bishnu Devi Pudasaini of Congress. The main opposition gears up to obstruct the parliament today as well. Development partners express interest in policy reforms to facilitate investments. Call for reform before the investment summit. Prime Minister assures of easy environment to invest. 14 Palestinians killed during Israeli airstrikes in Nuseirat camp in Gaza. The attack carried out on the eve of Eid al-Fitr that ends Islam's fasting lunar month of Ramadan. And Manchester City and Real Madrid share 6 goals in a Champions League quarter-final thriller. Arsenal and Bayern Munich trade blows in a pulsating 2-2 draw. The election for the National Assembly Vice Chair will be held today. CPN-UML lawmaker Bimala Ghimire and Congress lawmaker Bishnu Devi Pudasaini are contesting each other for the post. The election will be held during the meeting of the National Assembly that is set to be held at the Parliament building in capital's New Baneshwar at 1:15 p.m. later today. The ruling parties have put forth UML lawmaker Bimala Ghimire, while the main opposition Congress has fielded Bishnu Devi Pudasaini for the post. 17 lawmakers from Maoist Centre, 16 from Nepali Congress, 10 from CPN-UML, 8 from CPN Unified Socialist, 3 from Janata Samajwadi and 1 each from Jana Morcha, Loktantrik Samajwadi and 1 elected member will vote in today's National Assembly election. The meeting of the House of Representatives, which has remained obstructed by the main opposition, Nepali Congress, was set to resume today. The meeting began a short while ago. Minister for Industry, Commerce and Supplies Damodar Bhandari is scheduled to answer questions that have been raised regarding his ministry. The Parliament Secretariat has said that Chair of Education, Health and Information Technology Committee Amar Bahadur Thapa is scheduled to present a report on the security printing bill. Likewise, Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal is slated to present the 5th Annual Report 2080 of National Natural Resources and Fiscal Commission. Finance Minister Barshaman Pun is to present a proposal for discussion on the bill related to banking and financial institutions. Minister for Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs Padam Giri is to present a proposal to forward the bill related to legislation to the concerned committee for section-wise discussion. The main opposition, Nepali Congress, obstructed yesterday's meeting, demanding for the formation of a parliamentary probe committee to investigate the cooperatives fraud case. The party has geared up to continue the parliament obstruction today as well. CPN-UML's provincial party leader Yamlal Kardel has been appointed Chief Minister of Karnali Province. Kardel was appointed to the post by Province Chief Tilak Paryar. However, ruling CPN-UML and Maoist Centre have yet to reach an agreement on other aspects of their partnership. Based on the information shared by leaders of both the parties, Chief Minister Kardel will appoint a few ministers without portfolio and take the oath of office and secrecy if an agreement is not finalized by today. The two sides are yet to finalize the ministerial share. Kardel had staked his claim to the post with the support of 23 Provincial Assembly members, including CPN-UML, Maoist Centre members and CPN Unified Socialist. He had the support of 9 UML members, 13 Maoist and 1 Unified Socialist member. Province Chief Tilak Paryar had called on interested members to stake their claim within a week's time after former Chief Minister Rajkumar Sharma resigned from his post last Wednesday. At least 21 votes are required to form the government in the province that has 40 Provincial Assembly members. As CPN-UML and CPN Maoist Centre withdrew their support to the Koshi province government, Chief Minister Kedar Karki is required to take the floor test within 30 days as per constitutional provision. The two parties had informed of their decision through a joint press conference in Biratnagar yesterday. They also called on Chief Minister Karki to take the vote of confidence within 7th of May. They have also called for a special session, saying that the Chief Minister had fallen in minority. The two parties have demanded that the province chief begin the process of formation of a new government if Karki fails to take the floor test within the required time frame. Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question: why has Chief Minister of Koshi Province not yielded despite knowing that he lacks majority support? Your options are A. Lack of morality, B. Lust for power, and C. Interpreting the constitution as per his interest. Voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Respective offices of the Chief Election Officers have published the final list of candidates for the April 27 by-elections in Ilam and Bachang and provided them with their election symbols. The Office of the Chief Election Officer published the final list of candidates contesting in the by-election from Ilam Constituency 2 and provided them with their symbols. A total of 19 candidates, including 12 from various parties and 7 independent, are in the fray from the constituency. One of the 20 that had registered withdrew their candidacy. The Office of the Chief Election Officer distributed party-wise symbols and those for independent candidates. In Bachang, one of the 12 that had registered has withdrawn their candidacy. Ashok Sunar, who had registered to contest for a post at the Provincial Assembly, withdrew his name. A final list, including 11 candidates, has been published. The Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority (CIAA) has filed cases at the Special Court against 8 individuals for corruption, including former Acting Chief of the Agriculture Development Directorate of Gandaki Province, Neelkantha Pokhrel. The Commission has alleged them of financial irregularity in the budget allocated for Pakwari Agro Cooperatives building in Siangja's Galyang. The corruption watchdog has demanded for a fine of over 2.8 million rupees each from Pokhrel, Engineer Bishwanath Paudel, the then agroeconomist, and Department Chief Bhanubhakta Bhattrai. Likewise, fines of similar amount has been demanded from Pakwari Cooperatives Chair Harilal Khanal, Vice Chair Hema Neupani, Secretary Parshuram Khanal, Treasurer Uma Shrestha and local Shri Prasad Shrestha. The Commission claims the defendants had constructed the building on a land different from the one shown during the planning phase, along with breach of standards, among other irregularities. The Commission has also filed cases against 8 individuals, including the then Vice Chair of Kalikot's Palata Rural Municipality for corruption. It claims the 8 were involved in irregularity of the budget allocated for drip irrigation project. The defendants in this case include the then Chief Administration Officer Ram Prasad Kusma and Sub-Engineer Madhav Kumar Bhatta. The Commission has demanded for jail term and a fine of around 1.37 million rupees each. Diplomatic missions and development partners have shown interest in the government's preparations to reform policies ahead of the investment summit. Participating in the discussion program organized by the Office of the Prime Minister, they put forth their suggestions to the government. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal had called on development partners and diplomats to officially inform of the investment summit that has been scheduled for 28th and 29th of April. According to Investment Board, the attendees also expressed interest in agreements for bilateral investments. Last Sunday, the Cabinet had approved BIA model template in an effort to ensure investment security and encourage investors. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal called on the attendees to help attract investors to Nepal, expressing commitment towards creating a cohesive environment, reforming laws and improving process to ease project execution.
I would like to emphasize once again that the government is committed to amending laws to simplify investment, initiating procedural reform and creating a robust investment climate to ensure investor hassles-free atmosphere during the entire project life.
It may be recalled the government had some 2 years ago struck an agreement to protect and promote bilateral investments with India. However, the agreement had been scrapped before it could be implemented. BIPPA agreement to protect foreign investors by providing them with the same rights as local investors has been made with 6 other countries. Now the government is preparing for BIA. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked in several provinces what type of sectors do they wish to see investments being made in. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
जलविद्युत क्षेत्रमा लगानी प्रशस्त आउनु पर्यो पर्यटन र पूर्वाधारसँग सम्बन्धित योजनाहरूलाई हामीले लगानी सम्मेलन मार्फत भित्र्याउन सक्यौं भने राष्ट्रिय विकास निर्माणका प्रक्रियालाई अगाडि बढाउनलाई सहज हुन्छ।
स्वास्थ्य क्षेत्रमा लगानी भित्राए राम्रो हुन्छ।
रोजगारी हुने खालको लगानी भित्र्याउन पर्यो।
भएकै उद्योगीहरूलाई पनि एउटा राम्रो सपोर्ट गर्ने एउटा कार्यक्रम हुनु पर्यो।
दीर्घकालीन महत्त्व राख्ने
बढी भन्दा बढी चाहिँ जलविद्युत चाहिँ उत्पादन गर्न सकियो भनेदेखि त्यसले चाहिँ नेपालमा धेरै भन्दा धेरै चाहिँ यसले चाहिँ रोजगार पनि दिन सक्छ र आर्थिकलाई पनि चलायमान गराउन सक्छ।
धेरै युवाहरू चाहिँ विदेशी मुलुक जाने भएको हुनाले ती युवाहरूलाई पनि रोक्नको लागि औद्योगिक क्षेत्रको विकास गर्न अति जरुरी देख्छु।
कृषि र पर्यटनलाई एकमुष्ट जोडाउनको लागि चाहिँ तपाईको लगानी त्यसतिर चाहिँ अलिकति ध्यान दिएमा
जलविद्युत जस्तो क्षेत्रहरूमा चाहिँ लगानी गर्दाखेरि फाइदा हुन्छ।
नेपालीलाई चाहिने र नेपालीलाई आवश्यक पर्ने परियोजनाहरूलाई भित्र्याउनु पर्छ।
विदेश जान चाहिँ युवाहरूलाई रोक्नका निमित्त पनि नेपालमा चाहिँ लगानी विदेशी लगानीहरू चाहिँ उद्योग कल कारखानाहरूमा चाहिँ सरकारले व्यवस्थित गरेर अगाडि बढाउनु पर्छ।
कृषि पर्यटन र ऊर्जामा विशेष लगानी गर्नुपर्छ।
कृषिको क्षेत्रमा लगानी गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ उत्पादनमूलक हुन्छ।
प्राकृतिक स्रोत साधनमा आधारित उद्योग धन्दामा केन्द्रित रहेर लगानी भित्रिनुपर्छ।
महिलालाई लक्षित गरेर लगानी गर्न पा धेरै राम्रो।
आत्मनिर्भर बन्ने खालको चाहिँ एउटा चाहिँ त्यस्ता खालको चाहिँ आयोजनाहरू चाहिँ सम्पन्न गर्न सक्यो भने
देशलाई आत्मनिर्भर बनाउने खालको र दिगो विकास हुने किसिमले चाहिँ वैदेशिक लगानी चाहिँ नेपालमा भित्राउनु पर्दछ।
Time now for international update. At least 14 Palestinians were killed yesterday during Israeli airstrikes in Nuseirat camp in Gaza, the health ministry has said. The official Palestinian news agency Wafa reported the attack, which injured several others, targeted a residential square in Nuseirat refugee camp in the central part of the Strip. Other airstrikes were reported in Deir al-Bala in central Gaza and Rafah in the far south. The attack occurred on the eve of Eid al-Fitr, the feast that ends Islam's fasting lunar month of Ramadan, which is expected in Gaza today, depending on a clear sighting of the moon. Hamas said on Tuesday that an Israeli proposal on a ceasefire in their war in Gaza did not meet the demands of Palestinian militant factions, but it would study the offer further and deliver its response to mediators. The proposal was handed to the Palestinian Islamist movement by Egyptian and Qatari mediators at talks in Cairo that aim to find a way out of the devastating war in the Gaza Strip, now in its 7th month. Italian rescue teams continue to search for survivors after at least 3 people were killed and 4 were reported missing in an explosion underground at a hydroelectric power plant in northern Italy. Italian utility group Enel confirmed that a fire had broken out on one of its transformers at its hydropower plant in Barghi, close to Bologna, in the early afternoon. The fire brigade said that an explosion had occurred at around 3 p.m. local time at a dam on Lake Suviana, one of 3 artificial lakes that feed the power station. Enel has not commented on the cause. The company said the dam basin had not been damaged and that the plant was offline at the time of the incident, so there was no impact on electricity supply. Mexican Foreign Secretary Alicia Bárcena yesterday called the community of Latin American and Caribbean states to join Mexico's complaint to the International Court of Justice, also known as World Court, following the raid on the Mexican embassy in Quito. CELAC foreign ministers gathered in an extraordinary meeting to discuss an unusual raid on Friday last week to arrest the former Ecuadorian Vice President George Glass, who had for months taken refuge in Mexico's embassy in Quito. Ecuador argued it was unlawful to grant asylum to Glass as he had been convicted twice on graft charges. Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador said yesterday that the case would be brought to the World Court. The raid escalated a simmering dispute between the two countries, prompting Mexico to suspend diplomatic relations with Ecuador and drawing criticism from countries around the region and elsewhere. Venezuelan former oil minister Tarek El Aissami, once one of the most influential officials in President Nicolas Maduro's government, has been arrested in a corruption probe into state oil company PDVSA, the Attorney General said yesterday. Former Finance Minister Simon Zerpa and businessman Samark Lopez have also been detained. El Aissami surprisingly resigned in March 2023 amid a wide anti-corruption probe ordered by Maduro, which has been mainly focused on wrongdoing at PDVSA. El Aissami has not spoken publicly for more than a year. The three men are facing charges of treason, money laundering, conspiracy, and misdirection of public funds. The case involves a network of PDVSA executives who use their positions to carry out illegal operations, including some involving cryptocurrencies. Photos shared by Attorney General Tarek Saab's office showed Zerpa being led down a street in handcuffs, while others showed El Aissami and Lopez being led to cells by balaclava-clad officials. All of the men have been under sanctions by the United States since 2017, with El Aissami and Lopez facing drugs charges. Bolivian doctors went on a national strike yesterday to protest a retirement bill that claim will force them to retire when they turn 65 years old. Doctors started a 72-hour national strike with a march that was joined by teachers against what they call the forced retirement law the government wants to get passed in Congress. The Pensions and Financial Services Vice Minister Franz Apaza denied the bill would force them to retire at 65, but professionals would have to undergo a medical test to check if they are fit for duty. In Bolivia, the voluntary retirement age is set at 58 years old for men and 55 years old for women, although the president of La Paz Medical College, Edgar Villegas, said doctors need to work longer to achieve a decent retirement pension.
Sports news.
Holders Manchester City and Real Madrid shared 6 goals in a thriller to leave their Champions League quarter-final evenly poised after the first leg at the Bernabeu. Pep Guardiola's side took the lead in the second minute when Bernardo Silva cleverly snuck a 25-yard free kick round the wall past goalkeeper Andre Lunin. 2 deflected strikes brought 14-time European Cup winners Madrid level. First, Eduardo Camavinga's long-range effort hit Ruben Diaz and spun into the far corner of Stefan Ortega's goal before Rodrigo got in behind the City defense and poked home via Manuel Akanji's heel. City were dominant in possession throughout under the closed roof of the Bernabeu, but lacked quality in the final third until Phil Foden stepped up. Before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories once again. The election for the National Assembly Vice Chair to be held today. Bimala Ghimire of UML up against Bishnu Devi Pudasaini of Congress. The main opposition gears up to obstruct the parliament today as well. Development partners express interest in policy reforms to facilitate investments. Call for reform before the investment summit. Prime Minister assures of easy environment to invest. 14 Palestinians killed during Israeli airstrikes in Nuseirat camp in Gaza. The attack carried out on the eve of Eid al-Fitr that ends Islam's fasting lunar month of Ramadan. And holders Manchester City and Real Madrid share 6 goals in a Champions League quarter-final thriller. Arsenal and Bayern Munich trade blows in a pulsating 2-2 draw. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.